Welcome everyone to our channel. In today's discussion, I want you to look closely at the tweets on your screens. Yes, it's from Steve Henk, and I'm reading. It says, President-elect Mahama wants to renegotiate Ghana's IMF deal for radical changes to smooth loan payments. Here we go again. More Ghanaian incompetence. Someone will ask, someone may ask, who is Steve Hanks? Steve Hanks is a US or an American renowned economist who has been very vocal when it comes to the running of our Ghanaian economy. In fact, he was very vocal during Akufo-Addo's tenure, and in John Dramani Mahama's tenure too, he has started. And the question you ask yourself is, who is this man, or who is this economist to sound like he is so to say, ordering our presidents or our leaders, talking about John Dramani Mahama's plans? Can Akufo-Addo or John Dramani Mahama or any of our past presidents speak or make tweets like this concerning the US or concerning the West? It looks like when it comes to Africa, we don't know our left from our right. It looks like these people or these Westerners are always the ones directing us on what and what not to do. And this is what will happen if we don't decide to be self-reliant. This is what Nana Kwame Bediakon has been preaching. In fact, one of Nana Kwame Bediakon's speakers during the convention, his program he organized that was cancelled at the last minute, she has spoken extensively on Africans' reliance on these external financial institutions. I want us to go and listen to her, and then we will continue with our discussion. Thank you very much.
IMF, World Bank, all other institutions, they make African countries jump through hoops. Loans will never be able to pay. The US, when they borrow money, they're getting it in 1.5, 1.9 interest rate. Africans, when they get the same amount of money, they're paying 9, 10%. The people who don't need a break, they get a break. The ones who need a break, they don't get a break. The sheer survival of the World Bank, IMF, is based on the fact that African countries and many other developing countries do not succeed. Their success is based on our failure. That has to change. And guess who can make that change? We, the children of Africa, we, the Africans, are the ones who have to say, we know your game now. Enough is enough. We're not playing it anymore. And this is where the diaspora come in. There are more Ghanaian doctors in New York City than in the entire country of Ghana. There are more Nigerian doctors in LA than in the entire country of Nigeria. So let's be serious here. What Africa needs is capacity, capacity, capacity. And that capacity is in the diaspora. So it behooves us to bring the diaspora together. Let them understand what is really going on in our Africa. Diaspora are not going home. Diaspora are angry about Africa because they are not understanding the root cause of why Africa is where it is today. They think getting rid of a president will take care of the problem. Far from it. That president is just going to be replaced by another one who's going to equally suffer from the same difficult environment to work in. So let's look at an Africa that must be free to take care of herself, an Africa that's free from exploitation from outsiders. The multinationals who are stealing from Africa every day in broad daylight. I use an example of the DRC. If you ever fly very low over the DRC, you'll see tarmacs in the jungle. You'll see 747s flying into DRC, picking up minerals and flying right out. These same multinationals are responsible for arming young people and giving them MK16s. Because why? Their satellites in the skies are telling them where that village is. There are lots of diamonds. So what do? Arm young people, drag them up, and send them to go chop off a few heads. The rest of the village runs away, so they come behind and do their illegal mining. We black people must understand what is really going on. Because what we are shown instead is, oh, look at those Africans killing each other. There are some serious games that have been played in Africa for far too long. And once we understand that, we can strategize as to how we can begin to bring the difference and bring the change that Africa needs. And that change can only come if the African diaspora are united. The African youth are not taking it anymore. They want what belongs to them. Financial institutions, them too. If I had my way, all the African heads of states should stop paying back any loans that were given by IMF and World Bank. Those loans have been paid gazillion times over.
This is the problem of Africa, and in this case, Ghana. All of us, Africans, all of us, our problem is one. Economic independence. We have our freedom, we have our independence. On the 6th March 1957, Kwame Nkrumah helped us to achieve. But, we've been able to move out our colonial masters from the country. Yet, they are not here physically, but they've hidden behind these institutions, like these external financial institutions, and they are the ones truly running our economy for us. How is it that as a newly elected leader or as a president who has been newly elected, look at the vast natural resource that God has given us? Talk about gold, talk about oil. Even if we don't know, Nana Kwame Bediako has come on the scene. He has done his research. He has discovered tapped and untapped resources that we have. So these resources, how is it that our presidents and our leaders are not even looking there? They are not even considering how can they tap into these resources, get profit from these resources, and use them to run the economy. Because truly, when God created us, He made these things available for our benefit. Just as He created us, and if He put them in the garden to what? To farm, to till the ground, and so that they'll be able to feed themselves. Same way as a nation, God has given us agriculture, oil, gas, gold, mention them. Tapped and untapped. And we say we've elected leaders and they assume the seat, and none of them is even looking that way. All that their minds is occupied with is going for loan. All that they are thinking about is going to borrow. This is what Nana Kwame Bediako was preaching. But unfortunately, most of the youth of this country, their eyes were not open enough to catch this vision. We are not truly independent. Those resources has been captured by these institutions, external institutions. So it's like our leaders, they can't even access them. They can't access. What is money? Is money paper? You have gold and you are talking about paper. Printed money. This is the problem. This is why an American economist will just he's just warning the president-elect in a subtle message. He's just warning him that, look here, you cannot negotiate. It is not possible. We cannot give you money and then you give us your terms. It doesn't work that way. So that is simply what he was saying in the tweet. But the media, the Ghanaian youth, our education, People just don't get it. They think the solution is moving from Akufo-Addo to Mahama, from Mahama to Bawumia, from Bawumia to this and that. That will not solve the problem. You need a bold leader who can stand against these external influences and forces and fight to get us our economic freedom back. That is Nana Kwame Bediako. So far, among all the presidential candidates, he is the only one who has poked out his head. He's the only one. Nobody else. That is why some of us, we are still rallying behind him. We are still supporting him. Until he himself, he says, I'm tired of this. I'm not doing it anymore. Because we understand his vision 100%. And we know that this is the kind of vision and the only vision that will extricate this nation from this financial bondage. Thank you very much for listening to us. We will meet in another episode. Peace out.
Many